Let me call upon stage Nitin Soni.
Louder, louder, louder. Come on, louder.
दोस्तों, सक्सेस इन एनी फील्ड इज 70% साइकोलॉजी एंड 30% मैकेनिक्स. किसी भी फील्ड में, इन whatever field you choose, success is all about 70% psychology and 30% mechanics.
मैं आपसे पूछना चाहता हूं, विराट कोहली ने सेंचुरी मारी थी क्या डेब्यू? अच्छा, सचिन तेंदुलकर ने मारी थी? अच्छा, धोनी ने मारी थी? But all of these three individuals are legends, in spite of the fact that they did not score century on debut. Even if you are not able to score century on debut, you can still become a legend if you take few things right. Understand this.
Why do you want to become what you want to become? Why do you want to get that success? Why do you want to get that degree? Why do you want to become a rank holder? Why do you want it? Answer your why.
They are compromising on their potential. You have amazing potential in you. Why do you want to restrict it? You're not supposed to restrict your potential. Warren Buffett has 97 different streams of income. 97. And the day I realized, the day I noticed it, I said, 97, what the hell?
What is the difference? The difference is in their psychology. That's where the entire difference lies. That's the main thing. You need to understand your psychology, your mindset. Usme kya chal raha hai? That's what you need to focus.
Excellent. And I knew I would be the top scorer in the institute. And that's exactly what I did. Each and every paper that I gave, when I came back home, I said, I'm ready for the next one. And I did that. Ready for the next one. Did that. Then I waited for my results. And on the results day, what did happen? I failed. What is it that I can do now? At the best I can study. At the best I can put in the hard work. At the best I can do whatever is possible for me to do. What else can I do?
He actually looked at the big portrait of Mount Everest and he said, Mount Everest, I know you are failing me. But the more and more you fail me, the more and more I'm getting determined that one day I'm going to stand on top of you. Do you know why, Sir Edmund Hillary said? He said, do you know why? Because you, even as Mount Everest, cannot grow any further. But I, as a human being, will keep growing. That's my message to you. Keep growing. No matter what Mount Everest you want to climb in your life, you can. If you have the right mindset and if you do not let your failures enter your mind, God, because it's your responsibility, friends. It's your responsibility. Nobody else is going to work hard for you. Nobody else is going to bring your dream in a silver plate and say, hey, here is your dream, enjoy. No, that's never going to happen. You will have to work hard. You will have to put in the hard work. You will have to work the midnight call. You will have to make your dream come true. The responsibility is yours. I cannot do your push-ups for you, can I? Can I? Of course not. You will have to do your push-ups.
What do? You notice that you are not the only one who is watching that dream. You are not the only one having that dream inside you. When there are 1,000 other mothers who are having the same dream for their sons, what do you do to make the dream of your mother come true? You outwork your competition. You outwork your competition. You get up early. You work harder. You stay longer. You do whatever it takes. You got to overwork. You got to outwork. You got to outsmart everybody else. Because if you don't do it, someone else is going to do it. If you don't do it, someone else is going to do it. If you are not getting up early, someone else is getting up early. And he is going to grab your position. He's going to grab your position. Understand this. You got to outwork your competition. If it means doing anything that you have not done till date, you should be interested in doing it. Learning techniques, learning facts, programming your subconscious, whatever it may be. Be ready to outwork your competition.
My intensity multiplied. My hunger multiplied. My seriousness multiplied. I prepared like hell. I was actually doing things that nobody around me was doing. I was studying for 12 hours a day and I said, no matter what happens on the results day, I'm going to give my best shot in this attempt. I studied like anything. And I did all those test papers, watching studies over and over and over again. I revised over and over and over again. And I gave my exams to the best of my ability. And on the results day, the screen said, pass.
Unless and until you answer your whys, you will not be able to remain motivated. You need motivation? Answer your whys. Answer your whys. Why do you want to do what you want to do? Is it because of your father? You want to make your father's dream come true? Is it because of your mother? Your mother is looking a dream for you and you want to make her dream come true? Is it because of your siblings, your brother, your sister, your other family members? Or is it probably because yourself? You say, I want to become rich because I want to prove to the world that I am a rich person and I am not a poor person. You got to answer your whys. Why do you want to become what you want to become? Answer your whys. Because this is exactly where motivation lies. What are you waiting for? Whatever it takes. Even if it takes for you to learn something, learn it. If it takes for you to work hard, work hard. If it takes for you to get up early in the morning, get up early in the morning. If it takes for you to work in and day out, do it. He was a world heavyweight champion in boxing, Mike Tyson. डरते थे लोग उसके नाम से. और Mike Tyson won 37 fights back to back. अपनी लाइफ की पहली फाइट से लेकर 37 फाइट्स तक माइक टाइसन हर एक फाइट जीतता गया. एक भी फाइट वो नहीं हारा. और पीपल यूज्ड टू स्वेट बाय हिज नेम. डरते थे लोग उसके नाम से. 37 फाइट लगातार जीतना इज नो गेम. एंड ही वाज द वर्ल्ड हेवीवेट चैंपियन. 37 फाइट लगातार जीतने के बाद जो 38वीं फाइट उसकी थी वो थी अगेंस्ट जेम्स बस्टिन डगलस. और ये जेम्स बस्टिन डगलस कौन था? कुछ भी नहीं, अ नॉर्मल बॉक्सर, वेरी नॉर्मल बॉक्सर. कभी भी अपने लाइफ के अंदर हैवीवेट चैंपियन नहीं बना, कभी भी उसने कोई बहुत बड़ी चैंपियनशिप नहीं जीती. वेरी नॉर्मल बॉक्सर. 38th मैच माइक टाइसन का अगेंस्ट जेम्स बस्टिन डगलस. इट वाज अ वन साइडेड मैच. दे सेड माइक टाइसन इज गोइंग टू विन एनीवेज. सारा मीडिया हैरान, सारी दुनिया हैरान. माइक टाइसन लॉस्ट द मैच. 38th फाइट माइक टाइसन लॉस्ट इट. हाउ कम? ये कैसे हो सकता है? सारा का सारा मीडिया पागलों की तरह जेम्स बस्टिन डगलस के पीछे. बस्टिन डगलस, ये तुमने किया कैसे? हाउ डिड इट? You just won against Mike Tyson. Impossible. How could you do the impossible? ये किया कैसे तुमने? He said, before this match, my mother declared to the world that her son is going to beat Mike Tyson. She declared it to the world, to the relatives, to the friends, everybody, and she was extremely happy. और जेम्स बस्टिन डगलस ने कहा, माँ क्या कर रहे हो? Why are you doing that? I'm not too sure. She said, you are not sure. I am sure because I believe in my son. My son is going to beat the hell out of Mike Tyson, and my son is going to win. He said, it was my mother's dream that I beat Mike Tyson. It was my mother's dream that I become the world champion. It was my mother's dream that I become a true champion in my life by beating Mike Tyson, and not just Mike Tyson, whoever it may be. And my mother died 2 weeks before this match. He said, my mother died 2 weeks before this match. And I wanted to make her dream come true. He said, I wanted to make her dream come true. Mike Tyson के अलावा अगर वहां पर 100 Mike Tyson भी होते, उसके बावजूद मैं ये मैच जीतता. Because it was my mother's dream and I wanted to fulfill my mother's dream.
तो ये सोचता है कि मैं स्पेशल नहीं हूं. अगर यहाँ एक भी सोचता है कि मैं वर्दी नहीं हूं, मेरी रिक्वेस्ट है उससे कि आज की शाम अपने पेरेंट्स के साथ बिता लेना. आज की शाम तन्हाई में अपने पेरेंट्स के साथ बिता लेना और आपकी माँ, आपके पिताजी आपको बताएंगे कि आप कितने स्पेशल हो. There is nobody in the entire world who has a fingerprint like you.
Luck, नसीब. कई मैं से देखता हूं जो अपने नसीब को पकड़ के बैठते हैं, जो ये कहते हैं कि it's only and only because of my luck. If I'm failing, it's only because of my luck. नसीब की वजह से आपकी जिंदगी में कुछ नहीं होता. मगर दो तरह के लोग हैं, बिलीव करते हैं नसीब, कुछ बिलीव नहीं करते नसीब के ऊपर. आप मुझे एक बात बताओ, अगर आपकी नसीब की वजह से ही सब कुछ होता है, अगर आपके लक की वजह से ही सब कुछ ये हो रहा है, तो मेहनत क्यों कर रहे हो? मेहनत करने की क्या जरूरत है? और अगर नसीब में नहीं लिखा तो मेहनत करके क्या उखाड़ लोगे? क्या उखाड़ लोगे? नसीब को लेकर के मत बैठो. जब आप अपने नसीब को देख करके कहते हो कि भाई कभी ना कभी तो चमकेगा, आपका नसीब आपको देख करके कहता है कभी तो समझेगा. आप नहीं समझते.
You command respect, power, recognition, social status, everything. It has amazing power. I am the king of the jungle now. If you do what is easy, your life will be hard. But if you do what is hard, your life will be easy.
Alrighty then, alrighty. Everybody, welcome to the Superpower Success Summit. This is Nitin Soni, and I'm excited and happy to be here in front of you on yet another day. Well, this is day 8. तो दोस्तों एक हफ्ता हुआ पूरा और हमने एंटर किया in the next week of the Superpower Success Summit. जल्दी से लिख दीजिए SPS in the chat box if you're loving this summit. If you can see me, if you can hear me, if you are excited for day 8, type in SPS in the chat box. दोस्तों पहले दिन, दूसरा दिन, तीसरा, चौथा, पांचवा, छठा, सातवां दिन और आज it's the 8th day when we are live here in front of you in the Superpower Success Summit with yet another topic of your importance. This is one of the most important topics, I would say. Kyunki, or as you can see right on your screen, stage confidence. To be able to stand on stage confidently. और हम बात करते हैं स्टेज कॉन्फिडेंस की, राइट? जिंदगी भी तो एक स्टेज ही है. क्या जिंदगी एक स्टेज नहीं है? क्या आप एक परफॉर्मर नहीं है? जिंदगी एक स्टेज है, आप एक परफॉर्मर है. तो मैं चाहता हूं कि आज इस सेशन में आप सीखें कि हाउ यू कैन परफॉर्म टू द बेस्ट ऑफ योर एबिलिटी. How you can perform to the best of your ability is what I would like you to learn today in this session from one of India's top expert on this topic. I am super excited. Why? Because I guess I consider myself blessed कि summit के through ये कितना ज्ञान मैं खुद बटोर रहा हूं. I'm sure आप भी बटोर रहे होंगे और पेन, पेंसिल, डायरी, नोटपैड जो भी आप अफोर्ड कर सकते हैं वो आपके सामने होगा और आप बैठते होंगे रोज शाम 7 बजे to take notes, to transform your life. Yes or no? How is it going so far? Let me know in the chat box. How has been those last 7 days? I want to hear it from you. Let us know in the chat box if this is getting better and bigger as we are moving ahead in the Superpower Success Summit. दोस्तों, superpower is the word. बात सिर्फ सक्सेस की नहीं है, हमें चाहिए सुपर पावर सक्सेस, राइट? एंड इन ऑल डिपार्टमेंट्स ऑफ आवर लाइफ इट डजंट मैटर कि हम कौन है, हम क्या करते हैं या हम क्या करना चाहते हैं. आई वांट ऑल ऑफ अस टू बी एबल टू अचीव 200% of what we are capable of achieving. 200%, 500%, because you know what? We can. दोस्तों, अंजुम जी जब आई थी हमारे एक सेशन में, तो आपको अगर याद हो उन्होंने एक सेशन लिया था और इस सेशन में उन्होंने एक बड़ी इंटरेस्टिंग बात कही जो मुझे बहुत पसंद आई और मैं रिपीट करना चाहता हूं. उन्होंने कहा, नितिन, एक चीज ऑब्जर्व करो कि 4 साल पहले, 5 साल पहले ओलंपिक्स में जो रिकॉर्ड बने, आज 4 साल बाद, 5 साल बाद वो रिकॉर्ड्स बने लगते हैं. क्यों? because as humans we have this potential in us. उन रिकॉर्ड्स को हम साल दर साल बीट करते हैं, आगे बढ़ते हैं, नए रिकॉर्ड्स कायम करते हैं. इसका मतलब जो नए रिकॉर्ड्स हम कायम कर रहे हैं वो पोटेंशियल हमेशा से थी, है कि नहीं? बट इट वाज अनटैप्ड. तो मैं आपसे कहना चाहता हूं दोस्तों, जो कुछ भी आपने अभी तक अचीव किया है, you have achieved it. Why? Because now you have to achieve 10x more of what you have achieved, and you have the potential in you. It's just untapped. और यही इस समिट का पर्पस है. यही है इस समिट का पर्पस कि रोज शाम 7 बजे we come here and we remind you of your greatness. We come here and we remind you what you're capable of doing. We come here and we remind you what you can potentially do in your life and learn and equip yourself to achieve what you want to achieve and 10x, 100x more. Because वो जब कल कितना अच्छा अमित पारिक ने एक बड़ी इंटरेस्टिंग बात कही कि पढ़ेगा इंडिया तभी तो बढ़ेगा इंडिया. तो पढ़ना है, सीखना है और बढ़ना है, और खुद ही नहीं बढ़ना, अपने साथ लोगों को लेकर चलना है. दोस्तों, दिस इज द मैसेज ऑफ द सुपर पावर सक्सेस समिट एंड आई एम हैप्पी, एक्साइटेड, कंसिडर माई सेल्फ ब्लेस्ड दैट आई एम हियर as the presenter, as the host in this summit in front of you, and I invite you and I introduce you every single day to one incredible guest. दोस्तों, हमने कल सीखा अमित पारिक से अबाउट एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप. डॉक्टर अमित पारिक आए, उन्होंने एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप के ऊपर ऐसे ऐसे शानदार बातें हमें बताई. एज एंटरप्रेन्योर्स आई एम श्योर एवरीबॉडी लव्ड व्हाट ही शेयर्ड विद अस. और आज it's even better, it's even bigger, because we have, as I said, one of India's top expert on communication, on stage confidence, on public speaking. She is a PhD in soft skills. PhD in soft skills. Amazing. She's a #1 best-selling author of the book Personal Power Equation. Well, an amazing human being, and I guarantee you're going to love this session. So let me take this honor of introducing none other than Dr. Gopika Kumar to all of you. There you go. Hey,
Lovely.
Gopika, good evening and welcome to the Superpower Success Summit.
Good evening, Nitin, and good evening to all our lovely viewers here. Thank you so much for having me on board.
Wow, that's amazing, Gopika. I'm so glad to have you here. Day 8. Wow, I've been waiting for this day, and here we are. There you are. So we have. You'll feel that me and Gopika, we have known each other for quite some time. We have done programs together. We worked on the book together. Many more things that we are planning together, and here we are in front of you to tell you, to share with you what you need to do to develop that necessary confidence in you. As I said, not just about stage, life is a stage and you got to win this. Gopika, मैं आपसे जानना चाहता हूं, not sure if you got a chance to have a look at what we are trying to do here in this summit, but what's your take? What's your thought on the Superpower Success Summit, Gopika?
You know, after looking at your summit, Nitin, I've realized that we are just restricting ourselves to one or two niche areas. It's so beautiful to open up to a stream of topics and actually let everyone hear that. I think that's the beauty of this summit, which you really being able to put it up really, really nicely. So well done. And I think congratulations to the entire team for that.
थैंक यू वेरी मच। और ये आप ही की वजह से, आप जैसे एक्सपर्ट्स की वजह से पॉसिबल हो पा रहा है गोपिका, क्योंकि यू ऑल अग्रीड टू कम हियर फॉर फ्री. Friends, no charge whatsoever. They are doing a service to us. And I guess all of us should consider ourselves blessed that through this summit, all of these experts like Gopika coming here and sharing their ideas for free. Gopika, stage confidence. ये सीखना पड़ेगा. ये सीखना पड़ेगा क्या? Is this not already in us कि स्टेज पर गए और धमाकेदार एंट्री के साथ जाकर के बेहतरीन सा एक स्पीच दे दिया, और इसमें सीखना क्या? स्टेज कॉन्फिडेंस. I mean, I want you to just talk about it a little bit. The relevance of
it
this
would have been
topic.
really, really nice if, I was to say that one is born with it. But actually, on the other side, I like the part that even if we are not born with it, this is something that we can learn. And stage confidence, itna ek doable skill set hai that I've completely been able to learn in my life over the last 20 years. And that's what I'm going to share with all my viewers here. It's going to come completely from my life and experiences, and how each one of us here in the room has so much potential to really rock any stage and being able to become our hero in our own life.
Incredible, incredible. And you know what, friends? The beauty is all of us have something to share. Type in agree in the chat box if you agree with me. कि आपके पास कोई ऐसी स्टोरी है, आपकी लाइफ अपने आप में एक ऐसी स्टोरी है, कुछ ऐसा इंस्पिरेशन है आपके पास, कुछ ऐसा है आपके एक्सपीरियंस में, आपकी नॉलेज में, या आपकी लाइफ में जो आप बाकी लोगों के साथ शेयर कर सकते हैं, और अगर करते हैं, it can transform people's life. It's just that this fear of stage is holding you back. It's just that this nervousness is holding you back. This low confidence is holding you back. Type in agree in the chat box if you agree with me. And if this is holding you back, what I want to tell you is fasten your seat belts now, because we are about to take off with none other than Gopika Kumar as the pilot of the ship. Gopika, over to you. I'm going to take the backstage and I'm going to take notes now. Over to you, dear.
Lovely. Thank you so much, Nitin, for that fabulous introduction. And now over to my lovely viewers. So a very good evening to you all. And thank you so much for taking out your time to be present with us today. So for all those who don't know, I'm Dr. Gopika Kumar from Delhi, right? And I've been a very shy, एक बहुत ही introvert और shy person मैं रही हूँ. And right from the beginning, right from our school days, हम लोगों को जितनी opportunity to go up on stage, to participate in a debate, to participate in an extempo competition, we were never able to do it. And I can still recall and remember that I would be the last person to really climb up and take up an opportunity like that. Later on, I really realized, and that was literally like first and second year of my college, that wherever, jahan bhi main jana chahti thi, wherever I wanted to create a mark for myself, I realized that we actually need to start getting used to facing a stage. We need to start getting used to facing a spotlight. We need to start getting used to getting attention onto us, because unless and until we are falling in love with what we call as the spotlight, we will not be able to create some powerful impression that I really believe we all can create for ourselves, right? So, sitting at this moment in time, I'm going to ask you all to pick up your mobile phones. I know I'm not able to see you, main nahi dekh sakti, but you will all be able to do this simple exercise along with me. Pick up your mobile phones, go to your mobile phones and switch on the torch exactly like the way I have done it right now. And turn that torch towards yourself, everyone. Turn that torch. Bring it closer, 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 and closer. Can you just realize? I have just started to squish away my eyes. It's a very uncomfortable situation. This is not something that I'm used to looking at. इसको हम कहते हैं getting used to a spotlight. How many of you agree with me and say that agree in the chat box कि जब भी हमारे ऊपर सारी attention होती है, whenever the spotlight is on us, is where we are actually getting jittery, we're getting nervous, our palms are becoming very sweaty, and the last thing that we are thinking is that I am not ready to go on stage. I am not ready to handle, the audience. I'm not ready to speak up. In fact, I'm in a situation where I'm sitting like this. Now, that's exactly what we are going to talk about today. So are we all excited? Come on, let me see a quick excited in the chat box if you're ready to take on to the real learning that I have learned in my 20 years कि कैसे आप अपनी personality change किए बिना, how you can learn and being able to do this, the skill set, which is the skill set of handling a stage, handling a spotlight, and more than that, falling in love with it completely, right? Come on, let me see a quick me in the chat box. How many of you want to fall in love with the spotlight, want to fall in love with the stage? कुछ बहुत ही simple तरीके, simple techniques and hacks I'm going to share by merging them with the way that I have applied it in every little experience from my life as well is what I'm going to share in with you. Lovely. So good to see coming in from most of us here, Pradeep, Mansi, Dikshita, Salam, Dhruti, coming in. Each one of us wants to fall in love with handling a spotlight and stage, right? So the first idea that I want to put across to you all is it requires a lot of planning, structuring and delivering. जब भी हमें already in advance पता है that we are going to be going up on stage, we need to put into this specific formula which I refer to PSD. Plan करें, structure करें अपनी presentation, अपनी talk, अपनी delivery को और तब जाके deliver करें. Even in this entire concept of plan, structure and deliver, today, sitting after 20 years, every other time, including today, including any other online, offline sessions that I'm holding, I'm always and always preparing to the T. And I'm sure all the speakers at this summit would agree with that. Planning for 20 minutes for maybe a week in advance. Planning for 2 hours, maybe about 2 weeks in advance, respective to each one of those. मगर उस content को structure कैसे करें, deliver कैसे करें, interesting कैसे बनाएं, so that when I am out there to really handle up the stage, I'm able to do it at ease is what we are really going to discuss. So the first takeaway for all of us here is that let's plan, structure and deliver. To do this well, which is the PSD, आज हम एक बहुत ही interesting acronym बनाएंगे so that we are all able to remember the key pointers that we are going to discuss in this session in an easy and a simple way. So grab your pens and I want you to make a note of it right along with me. We're talking about stage confidence. Let's create an acronym out of stage in itself, where the first S stands for make it simple. A simple opening will create a powerful presence on stage for you. इससे क्या मतलब है गोपिका? हमें क्या करना चाहिए? S for a simple opening. हम सब लोगों को स्टेज पर डर कब लगता है? आप सब सोच के बताइए. Right in the beginning. even before we go up on stage. Now imagine and visualize your name is going to be called out. You're going to be there on stage. They're going to be introducing you next. What is happening physiologically? Just start imagining क्या हो रहा होता है हमारे साथ. Our heart starts racing up extremely fast, right? Your hands will start trembling. पसीना आने लग जाएगा. You will start shivering and quivering in your voice. वो एक tremble आ जाएगी. आपकी legs tremble करने लग जाएंगी. And you would not be able to even take control of that. In fact, you would want to have water again and again. And at the worst, you may want to run away from it. The first rule of creating a stage confidence, as the S stands out for, is create a simple opening. A simple opening, this is how I do it in most of my situations. Simple opening के लिए हमेशा याद रखें कि जो आपके पहले कुछ sentences हैं वो बहुत ही simple होने चाहिए. For example, this is what I do most of the times. I will go out there and give my introduction. Now, my introduction, I have given it a zillion times, right? And most of you would have given it for interviews, for jobs, for pitches, for clients, for meetings. अपनी introduction हमने हजारों बार दी हुई है. And you'll all be able to hear about stage confidence. Introduction the something which is purely simple, and I don't have to recollect and put my mind to it that I'm having to muster or put all my efforts in remembering, oh my God, मैंने quotation याद करी थी, and that's what I need to use right in the beginning. Stage confidence के लिए पहला rule, simple opening. That can be, of course, one of the ways, one of the most powerful ways that I use for creating a powerful opening. और उसके साथ साथ वो simple भी होती है, which is I use a lot of questions. So when I asked that, are you all excited to step into the session of stage confidence? I'm asking you a simple question, my friends. These questions can be introduced right in the beginning. Let's say I'm going to ask you another question. Which city are you all from? Come on, put that down in the chat box. And I would want to welcome our viewers from across the country. Which city are you all from? It's a simple question. I'm using it in my opening. You can use it in your opening, in your speeches, in your deliveries. What will it give you in return? It will give you the time till your listeners revert back to you. It will give you the time to breathe. It will give you the time to pause. It will give you the time to calm your nerves down. A simple opening. Look at that. So I have people coming in from Delhi, Hisar, Noida, Mumbai, Bhubaneswar, Goa, Jamshedpur, Tura. Lovely. Good to see you, Dr. Anjum, Abhay, Dikshita, Dimapur, Karnataka, Mangalore, George, Hyderabad, Salam. Can you all see that? Within a matter of few seconds, we are being able to receive back the answers. Research कहती है स्टेज पर आप जैसे ही जाएं, आपको डिलीवर करना जरूरी नहीं है. What is important is that you're able to get their attention right in the beginning. For that, use a simple opening, use a simple introduction, use a simple question. And such simple questions, you can just simply draft them in your mind just before you're going to start your speech, just before you're going to start your delivery on the same as well. There are a lot of other things that I do. Many a times when I'm feeling extremely anxious, stage hai, nervousness to hogi, anxiousness to hogi, haath to kaapenge, that tremble will always happen. Physiologically, if you can consciously remember and do this, which is carrying a small little, a gentle smile on your face. Now hear me out on this, okay? A gentle smile, not a Facebook smile, by the way. A gentle smile that has been able to reveal, just जैसे ही हम एक gentle smile use करते हैं, neurologically, it is all connected to our brain. The moment we'll smile a little bit, it sends out the message to your brain that we are in a more comfortable position than we may think. And the moment mindset is stronger, we all know it, that the game to be there on stage becomes so much more easier. If not that, let me give you something extremely fantastic that you'll all be able to use, which is use up an interesting exercise or a motivation. So in majority of my sessions, and especially अगर आपका कोई physical session हो, stage पे जाना हो, delivery हो आपकी, आपको कुछ नहीं करना. Right in the beginning, think about an activity that you'd like your participants to do. So I do a very interesting activity. For example, I make them massage their shoulders to make them learn a concept of give and take. अब इससे क्या होता है गोपिका? Surprisingly, हम कोई भी motivational physiological exercise अगर पकड़ ले, it has an in-depth meaning which can carry out much further than the real theme of your topic. So I pick up a simple topic which is give and take. आप जितना देंगे उतना ही आप expect कर सकते हैं to take it back. So I make everyone in the room and all my participants massage their shoulders and they're able to receive it back. Physical session, right? And the moment those 5 minutes are happening, first 5 minutes, stage confidence, I was nervous. Now instead what happened? Because I passed on the spotlight to my listeners, I passed on the entire attention to my listeners. What happened was, in return, all my nervousness started to trickle down and I started to become way more confident, because now the attention, the spotlight is not on me, the attention is on the listeners. And they themselves are now involved in conducting and in, being able to do that part of an exercise or an activity for themselves in a simple way altogether, is what we really need to do. You're doing it in an online mode, you can ask them to type something in the chat box. In a physical room, I tell them, come on, look under your seats. There is a complete gift which is lying under your seat. Would you want to grab that? Come on, look under your seats. There is laughter, there is fun, there is ease. It's like an ice-breaking technique. All these ideas that I've just shared with you in a couple of minutes, and I really hope that you were making your own notes, were just simple ideas and narrations कि आप अपने stage confidence के लिए, पहले S के लिए, the first S which stands out for a simple opening. Questions use करिए, exercises use करिए, introduction दीजिए. Just try and make it more fun. Rather than remembering content, rather than remembering quotations, rather than remembering facts and figures as your first few sentences. चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं. That was just the first element of stage confidence. If you loved that, come on, I want to see a quick LT in the chat box so that I know all my viewers are with me so far, right? If you're all with me so far. अब आगे बढ़ते हैं स्टेज में, T की तरफ. The next in this acronym, the T which stands for a technical setup. स्टेज पे जाने के लिए हमें सबसे ज्यादा डर किस बात का लगता है? आप लोग जानते हैं, सबसे ज्यादा डर हमें लगता है वहां पर टेक्निकल सेटअप से. So the T stands for the technical setup. Let me highlight a few things. And this is something, as a matter of practice, I do it all the time. I do it all the time. Now, this is what you need to just apply. If you can prepare yourself to find out how big is your room, if it is physical, how big is your stage, how much audience are you going to have in that room? In fact, to the extent, whenever I have a speech and I have a delivery, जब भी मुझे stage पे जाना है, it becomes easier for me if I have already seen that room where I am going to deliver. Where I'm going to deliver, if that place is already, I have seen it, my level of anxiousness, the facts of the unknown, वो अपने आप कम हो जाते हैं, because now I'm prepared for something that I've already seen. Now this is all that I usually get used to. Technical team से already एक बात हुई होनी चाहिए, which means अगर आपने एक presentation आपने present करनी है आपने stage पे, उस presentation को already run करके देखना है that it's already running in the right format. If you're holding up, let's say, like a pointer in your hand, and you're going to be using that for your presentation, please remember, you must be acquainted. आप used to होने चाहिए. हर जगह, हर stage, PowerPoint presentations use करने के लिए आपके pointers का अपना ही एक तरीका होता है use करने का. That is something that you should have been able to get accustomed to before you start your delivery. Mic kaisa hai? Is it a standing mic? Is it a mobile mic? Is it a collar mic? What do you need to be prepared with? The more prepared you are in mind, I can tell you, the stage confidence starts to increase as you go by. कितनी lights होंगी, कितना audience होगा, कितने लोग technically आपको support कर रहे होंगे at the back end is what you also need to find out. In fact, many a times I go into the room technically to find out कि stage की height कितनी है. Many a times when the stage is much higher, chances are my nervousness is also going to be higher. That, oh my God, itna bada stage hai, Gopika. My level of nervousness is going to be a lot. No. In fact, the moment you've seen it, I literally do what we call as a Reiki. I go and stand there on that stage, if you've got that time, in the biggest events. And that is preparation. That is a part of your planning. You actually go and take a complete round of that area, of that room, of that lecture hall, of that entire auditorium, wherever you're going to be standing up on a stage. अब हो सकता है कि आपके स्टेज पर एक पोडियम हो, and I'm sure that you all understand, which is that wooden podium which is right there in front. Please remember, this will act as one of your biggest friend to create that stage confidence immensely. And I have realized and I've learned this right from the beginning. अगर आपके पास एक podium है, you can immediately go and stand behind the podium. And the best part is that 70% of your body language, which is down from your neck, is going to be hidden. It's your choice that you come out of it and you start speaking to everyone so that they can all see you loud and clear, right? Exactly like the way we were looking at Nitin Soni's video just before this session started. So he had come outside the podium area so that he can speak with everyone with his complete body language being displayed out there. That is something that you can again use. But if there is a podium, what could be your best friend? Now, this is something that I highly, highly recommend. Use some physical setup, which can be your best friend. So let's say if you're having a pointer, let's say you're carrying a pointer for a presentation, keep that in your hand. You can have a marker. Maybe you're writing something on a flip chart. Can act as a complete support system. You can carry just a simple pen, which can act as your best friend. And by the way, just don't keep doing this because this can be a sign of nervousness. For stage confidence, you can just hold it on. At best, if you really think at time and again, पोडियम पर जाकर अपनी बुक, अपने पेपर्स या अपने क्यू कार्ड्स भी रख सकते हैं. एंड फ्रॉम टाइम एंड अगेन व्हेनेवर यू फील, यू कैन pick that up as a support system. The beauty is whenever, although these are non-human, right? But these elements become your best friends. In fact, whenever I know that it's not going to be a standing mic, I have a mobile mic with me. It's a mic like this that I can carry around and move around the entire stage. That's one of the best ideas because that mic, although being non-human, starts to act as my best friend, because you're grabbing hold of it and you're moving around in the entire room. You're having a complete support system with yourself. You're using the physical cues for creating comfort at your technical setup. जितना पहले आपको जितना पता होगा कि आपका रूम का सेटअप and you've already been able to use that, आपका stage confidence उतना ही ज्यादा होगा, right? So that was your second T on your stage confidence in your STAGE. Come on, if you're loving that, I want to see a quick LT in the chat box. And अब आगे बढ़ते हैं to the third element of this acronym, which is the A part of it. अब क्या करना चाहिए गोपिका? Stage confidence बढ़ाना है. S, which stands for a simple opening, रखिए. T, which stands for technical setup. Get used to the technical setup for yourself, right? The more comfortable you are, the better it's going to be. And the A stands for creating an active engagement. Stage पर आप हैं, but सारी attention आपके ऊपर नहीं होनी चाहिए. The more attention on you, the more nervous you're going to feel. Now, these are the real golden nuggets. The more spotlight on you, remember that, the more nervous you're going to feel. Now, what does that mean? If you have, like, let's say about 1 hour to speak across to your listeners, make sure every 7 minutes, you're being able to break the monotony and get some active engagement from your listeners. Because every 7 minutes, the nervousness tries to shoot up. The moment it tries to come up, what is it that we need to do? We need to now start start talking back to your listeners. Now, this is how I have done it, ever that I'm on stage. The moment I'm there on stage, monotony break karni hai. For breaking up that monotony, we call this model as engage and interact. Engage and interact. हर 7 मिनट में आप उनसे कोई क्वेश्चन करिए, उन्हें किसी एक्टिविटी में इन्वॉल्व करिए, उनसे यस और नो पूछिए, एग्री डिसएग्री पूछिए. Just ask them to be able to participate in what you were describing, or what was your biggest learning in the last 5 minutes. You can ask a zillion ways so that they're able to talk back to you exactly like the way we are doing it right now, right? Engagement and interaction. उसको करने के बहुत तरीके होते हैं. आप गेम्स खिलवा सकते हैं, एक्टिविटीज करवा सकते हैं. यू कैन गिव देम अ सिचुएशन टू थिंक अबाउट. रिसर्च कहती है कि जितनी बार आप मोनोटनी ब्रेक करेंगे, which means from your voice to their voice in the room. So you've been speaking. Now, if somebody else is speaking in the same room, it helps to break the monotony and create more interest and generate more interest as well. That's the beauty कि आपको सारा काम नहीं करना. That is the entire role that we are wanting to play. Active engagement के लिए आपको मैं एक बहुत ही easy तरीका दूंगी that I'm sure the next time that you're on stage, you'll be able to do it with ease. ध्यान से सुनिएगा, which we refer to as a proximity. Proximity का मतलब है कि आप स्टेज पे खड़े हैं, आप बहुत दूर हैं, आपके पास प्लेटफॉर्म है, आपके पास पोडियम है, आपके पास माइक है, आपके पास पॉइंटर्स हैं, आपके पास अथॉरिटी है एज अ स्पीकर. Proximity is the more you're able to move closer to your audience, the more confidence you'll be able to generate. Because human connections are so strong that the moment physiologically आप उनके थोड़ा पास जाएंगे, you yourself will gain a lot of energy. Now, this is how you need to do. I'm sure आप सबके पास अपने अपने स्टेज होंगे. हो सकता है आपका ऑफिस का एक कॉन्फ्रेंस रूम ही हो. Whenever you are there, do not consider that if I am on stage, मुझे यहीं रहना पड़ेगा, I will always and always have to be here only. Not at all. Please go down and start moving into the alley. जो छोटे छोटे passages होते हैं. If it is a conference room which is rounded, go around the room. Make sure that you're using the space which is closer to your listeners. The more you move closer to your listeners, आपका confidence बढ़ता है, because now you're breaking that wall which was existing between you and your listeners, and even your listeners, they will start feeling that they are getting connected with you. In fact, आज की डेट में मैंने बड़े से बड़े स्पीकर्स के किसी के भी इवेंट्स अटेंड किए हो. What is the one way of creating stage confidence? वो अपनी main gate से नहीं करते. They are doing their main entry from the back gate. Now, that is something which makes sense, right? If you're doing your entry from the back gate, which means you're giving your access to people that you're going to speak to. The closer you are to them, human connections, the more confident you're going to feel. The further you're away from them, that creates a level of nervousness for yourself, right? That is how we're going to do active engagement. बट कितनी बार करनी चाहिए गोपिका? हर 7 मिनट में करें? हर 7 मिनट में ज्यादा तो नहीं हो जाएगा? Is it going to become too overwhelming? If you do not have enough questions, now this is all that I do. You can just simply start changing the tone of your voice, which means kabhi zyada, kabhi immediately come. Or there is suddenly a moment of pause. Pause की एक बहुत बड़ी खासियत है. Pause, which means you're suddenly pausing and you are not saying a word out there, which is that your listeners will always wonder, what are you going to say up next? वो एक अपने ही तरीके की एक active engagement है, which means कि आपने तो pause लिया, you got a moment to breathe, you got a moment to sip your water, right? You got your moment to look at them. You got a moment to see how are they reacting. And at the same time, they are wondering, because their engagement is super high, that what happened? Why are you not speaking out there? They can be different ideas, and I really do hope that you're making active notes for it, right? So that was your third element in this acronym, which was active engagement. Come on, if you loved that, I want to see a quick LT in the chat box from you all before I move on to the next powerful one, which is the G part of it. G, which stands for, in the stage confidence, right? G, which stands for gestures and body language. Gestures क्या होते हैं गोपिका? Confidence बढ़ाने के लिए हम इनको immediately कैसे change कर सकते हैं? Now hear me out on this. And these are some simple gestures that you can use जब आप stage पे होंगे. Immediately, the moment you change your gestures, which are your hand movements. So what you're saying, your movements with your hands and with your body language are supporting what you are saying. So many people stand with their hands in pocket. Why? Because they're nervous. Many people are standing and they're fidgeting with their ears, they're fidgeting with their nose, they're fidgeting with their, with their hair, or they're fidgeting with something or the other. They're fidgeting with their mobile phone. What is it that you can do? Create powerful gestures like this, which means making use of expressions through your hands. Open gestures. Nothing closed by the way. So if you're sitting like this, right, or you're speaking like this, which means आप nervous है, आपका confidence ज़्यादा नहीं है. You want to show that you're being able to project confidence, stage confidence. इन हाथ को immediately open body language में लाइए, and then use them every other time with different expressions, with different gestures, so that you're able to speak with all those expressions to your listeners. Now hear me out on this. Now these are some powerful gestures. Now what is it that you can use? So अगर आपने कभी भी speeches सुनी होंगी president की, prime ministers की, right? How is it that they're doing it? They're using powerful gestures like this. And अगर आप podium के पीछे खड़े हैं, stage पर खड़े हैं, podium के पीछे खड़े हैं, उस time पर, when you're using powerful gestures, you're creating a magnanimity of energy. You're telling them that why don't you come up front and being able to engage with us. The more you're using these gestures, the more confidence you're being able to send out to your listeners. Continuously keep doing it, and your listeners will continuously keep giving you back lots and lots and lots of energy as well. इसको हम कहते हैं energy through gestures. और अब बात करते हैं एक body language on stage की, जिसको हमने कहा था gestures and body language. जब भी आप stage पे confidence दिखाना चाहते हैं, क्या आप खड़े हैं कि जैसे ऐसे लग रहा है twisted S की तरह, one leg on top of another, or are you sitting in a box position which is one leg on top of another? Are you standing with only one weight on your leg? How is it that you're standing? Your gestures and body language speaks volume about your stage confidence. तो करना क्या चाहिए गोपिका? करना क्या है अब? करना एक simple सा है, which is always put both your weight on both your legs when you're standing there on stage and everybody can see you completely, not on one leg, not in an S cross position, not something like you're roaming here and there, right? It's something that you're standing on both your legs with putting equal weight on both your legs, and they should be shoulder length apart is how you're standing. We call this as a T position. इसको हम एक T position कहते हैं, so that you're able to create and send out positive energy and confident body language out to your listeners is what we're talking about here. Energy, hand movements, body language. That was your fourth acronym in this section, which was gestures and body language. Come on, before I move on to the E, let's do a quick rev up, which is your revise up. The S, which was standing for एक simple opening बनाइए. T, which was standing in for technical setup, आपका एक massively researched upon होना चाहिए to create your comfort with where you're going to create that confidence. A for active engagement, proximity बढ़ाइए, engagement बढ़ाइए, activities बढ़ाइए, questions बढ़ाइए, through which you'll be able to create that participation. G, which stands for gestures and body language, through which you're able to display the energy and being able to imbibe the right positivity from the environment. And E, come on, everyone, E, which stands out for, and this is going to be the simplistic one, right, is standing out for eye contact. Now, hear me out. जब भी हम स्टेज पे होते हैं, सबसे बड़ी प्रॉब्लम होती है आई कांटेक्ट की. हम कहीं हवा में देख रहे होते हैं. वी आर नॉट लुकिंग एट आवर ऑडियंस. यू नो व्हाई? बिकॉज द नर्वसनेस इज देयर. स्टेज कॉन्फिडेंस के लिए आई कांटेक्ट के लिए देखना बहुत जरूरी है. But Gopika, nahi hota. That's not something that is easy to handle for me. Now, here is what I have done, and I can tell you, you will all simply love this. When you're looking at them, make an eye contact right here, just over the heads. So you're looking. So there are about 100, 150 people sitting in front. Jisse bhi aapko dekh raha hai, any one person, don't look at them in their eyes, right? You're looking at them just over their head, not in the air. Please remember, not in the air. Now hear me out is the best part. When you're just looking over their head, सिर्फ उसे ही नहीं लगेगा कि आप उसे देख रहे हैं. In fact, 5 people in one go. That person in the center, the one behind, the one in front, उसके right में, उसके left में, इन 5 लोगों को लगेगा that you are looking at them. And after the first 5 minutes, when you're feeling more confident on stage, is when you can start panning it down and bringing it down to the eye contact level. Come on, how many of you found that super simple, Gopika? Super simple. Apply that. It has been able to reveal that everybody, one in one arrow, you're able to actually reach out to 5 people. And every now and then, you can start looking at people. But don't look at them in the air. Don't look at them in the air, because that is something that they will feel that you're losing out on confidence and you do not have the ability to do so, right? So those were the 5 elements that we spoke about, which was for stage confidence. And I can tell you, and I'm going to narrate your beautiful experience that I've been able to share in every other situation. So I was hosting a big show for about 12,000 people. Stage itna bada tha और लाइट्स इतनी ज्यादा थी that I was not able to see anybody. उस सिचुएशन में मेरे पास अपॉर्चुनिटी नहीं थी that I'm able to go and find out that how the technical setup really works. But the biggest learning that I will share with you, and for all those who are from Delhi, they would know, this was at Tyagraj Stadium. There were 12,000 plus people. Badshah was going to be performing that night. And I was there being on the stage, being the comparer for that specific evening. Even myself, I had never handled a big stage like this. Now, here is what I did. A simple opening. Jitna kuch maine apni opening mein likhna tha in terms of question that, come on audience, are you excited? Are you all with me? Are you ready to get on rocking this entire evening with Badshah here? All those opening questions मैंने अपने script में लिख लिए थे already. Technically, when I went there up on the stage, I found that the lights were so much that I could not see anything. Now the best part is this, and you'll be surprised to hear this. The best part was कि lights इतनी ज़्यादा थी कि nervousness अपने आप ही कम हो गई. Because I could not see anything. I could not see a single person's face. Is where I was standing there and enjoying the glory of the spotlight and of the mic and of being on stage. बहुत सी misconceptions, बहुत से perceptions हम लोग अपने लिए अपने आप खुद ही बना लेते हैं. But we actually, when we go out there, it is not rocket science, is what I wanted to share out with you. When I was active, out there on the stage, active engagement कैसे करी? बार बार, हर बार एक performance होती थी. We used to come back on stage and get a big round of applause and a big amount of hooting from the audience. Active engagement, gestures and body language. When you look at those videos, my hands were trembling. But because I was so prepared, planned, structured, and so I was delivering, nobody could see it that there is an amount of nervousness on stage. Now hear me out. We are all nervous. We are all nervous. But as far as the person in front can't see it, it's absolutely fine. It's all right. Every other person has stage fear, has a stage phobia. And with these little techniques, you'll be able to handle that with ease for yourself, right? So myself, in fact, along with Nitin, did a beautiful event together in the past, which was on a summit together. And I'm going to share that while I was completely hosting that entire event. अब ये एक physical event नहीं था, एक online event था. वही हमारा स्टेज था, हमारा स्टेज हमारी स्क्रीन थी, हमारा स्टेज हमारा कैमरा था, हमारी माइक थी. Now we need to be very prepared. Opening simple रखनी है, टेक्निकल सेटअप से अपने आप को कंप्लीटली यू नीड टू बी वेरी वेरी अवेयर ऑफ इट. एक्टिव एंगेजमेंट करनी है विद योर लिसनर्स ऑन दिस. योर जेस्चर्स एंड बॉडी लैंग्वेज ऑनलाइन है या ऑफलाइन है, you still need to make sure that you're able to reach out to them with complete active participation and eye contact with the camera at all times. आप कोई भी इवेंट पकड़ लीजिए, आपकी कौन सी मीटिंग है, उसमें आप किस तरह से इन पांचों एलिमेंट्स of the acronym you will be able to use. Come on, let me see in my participants and viewers, how many of you will be able to put down the entire acronym for me in the chat box for STAGE. And what does it stand for? S for simple opening, T for technical setup, A for active engagement, G for gestures, and E for eye contact is what we need to use, right? Not only this, we've been able to cover up a whole lot of such smaller types of, similar kinds of topics and, themes that we are covering up. Myself, I am a trainer on soft skills and I'm doing a lot of trainings on online and offline. And I have a very, very interesting webinar for all those who are interested to be a part of my webinar next. For all my summit viewers today, Superpower Success Summit here today. For all of you, it's going to be completely complimentary. It's going to be my pleasure. You want to come and attend the same, which is going to be happening in this very week in itself. It's a complete 3-hour long webinar, right? Where we will get into the depth of being able to ace becoming a master communicator, being able to defeat this stage phobia, being able to master your public speaking and becoming a speaker and making money out of it, right? So I'm going to be sharing up a WhatsApp group link that you can go ahead and join. It's absolutely free. My team and Ridhima has already been able to post that to you all in the chat box. You can always go ahead and just join me there on that link and we will send you an invite to my webinar, which is going to be happening this week in itself, 3-hour long webinar from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. And we're going to send you out all the details out there. So you can see the WhatsApp group link is out there. And thank you so much for each one of you. And over to you, Nitin, on this. Thank you so much.
All righty. Wow. That was amazing, Gopika. Let's give her a big round of applause, everyone.
Thank you.
Wow, that was amazing, Gopika. As always, it was amazing. I was taking my notes. Stage, acronyms. ये सारे आपने जो आज बताए हैं, ये जाने अनजाने follow. We all, we follow that. If I tell you about myself, that's what we do, right? स्टेज कॉन्फिडेंस की अगर हम बात कर रहे हैं, दिस इज व्हाट वी डू. एंड आई वाज रिमेंबरिंग माय टाइम जब आपने कहा कि टेक्निकल सेटअप माइक से स्टेज से वाकिफ हो जाओ, तो दोस्तों आप सबके साथ शेयर करना चाहता हूं ये बात. इनफैक्ट गोपिका, आई वांट टू शेयर दिस विद यू. जैसा आपने अपना एक्सपीरियंस बताया, एक बहुत शुरू में, वे बैक व्हेन आई स्टार्टेड ऑफ, देयर वाज दिस सेमिनार एंड दिस सेमिनार वाज इन कमानी ऑडिटोरियम इन सीपी. और उस ऑडिटोरियम में वो पहला मेरा एक्सपीरियंस था. इट वाज एन इन हाउस सेमिनार दैट वी वर डूइंग. उससे पहले इतने बड़े स्टेज पे नहीं गया था. और वहां जब मैं गया तो इट वाज अ ह्यूज, एक ऊपर है, बालकनी सेटअप है, ये है, वो है. उससे पहले करी थी स्पीकिंग, लेकिन इतने बड़े सेटअप में नहीं. तो मैंने रिक्वेस्ट किया, जो वहां के लोग थे उनसे मैंने रिक्वेस्ट किया कि मेरा एक सेमिनार है यहाँ पर, उस दिन की बुकिंग है, इतने लोग एक्सपेक्टेड है, लेकिन मुझे यहाँ प्रैक्टिस करने के लिए आना है इसी स्टेज पर. आई वांट टू सी कि मैं कितना वॉक कर सकता हूँ, आगे पीछे, लेफ्ट राइट, इफ आई कैन गेट डाउन द स्टेज और नॉट, एंड ऑल ऑफ दैट. एंड दे सेड कि सर ये तो पॉसिबल नहीं होगा, ये तो बुक रहता है, इसमें बिल्कुल पॉसिबल नहीं है. अब मैंने कहा करना तो है, लाइव ऐसे नहीं जाऊंगा. And that early days, right? And I'm telling this to all of you. नहीं जाऊंगा ऐसे. तो उन्होंने कहा सर पॉसिबल नहीं है, आप एक काम कर सकते हो, ये शाम को, I mean they said we won't be turning on the AC, we won't be turning on the main lights because it's heavy expenditure on that. गर्मियों के दिन थे दोस्तों, आप सबसे शेयर करूंगा कि शाम के समय जब उनका जब बंद होने वाला होता है उससे कुछ समय पहले, आधा घंटा पहले, आई सेड आई विल कम. शाम को गर्मियों के दिन उन्होंने कोई एसी ऑन नहीं किया, और ऑफ कोर्स दे कैन नॉट, राइट, फॉर वन पर्सन दे कैन नॉट टर्न ऑन द एसी ऑफ द एंटायर ऑडिटोरियम. And then I was sweating, I was standing on stage and I was practicing every single punchline, I was practicing every single gesture, I was practicing my opening, I was practicing my closing. And what Gopika said, I was just, Gopika, ये सब मुझे याद आ रहा था. We travel a lot. इस होटल, उस सिटी में, I always make it a point कि सेशन से एक दिन पहले जाओ, रात को सेटअप रेडी हो, उस सेटअप में जाओ, देखो, चाहे 2 बजे रात के, चाहे 3 बजे सुबह के प्रोग्राम से पहले. I would always make it a point to see the entire setup, stand on stage, get a feel, walk around in between the chairs, the participants, the stage, आगे पीछे कोने में, all of that.
Yeah.
If I don't do that, it doesn't make me comfortable. So
yeah, I mean, I had a very, very interesting event to quote on this, Nitin. So there was a very interesting event where I want to share this with my viewers, that even if you think that you know it all, कि नहीं हमारे को presentation मालूम है, हमें मालूम है pointers कैसे use करते हैं, collar mic कैसे लगाते हैं, I've done it a million times, and I'm going to share this with you. I went to a very recent event, stage पे जाना था, 200 लोगों की gathering थी, बहुत बड़ी नहीं थी according to my imagination. बट हर एक इवेंट, हर एक स्टेज का मैग्नम अपना अलग होता है. एंड व्हेन आई वेंट ऑन दैट स्टेज आई रियलाइज्ड दैट इट वाज नॉट अ प्रोजेक्टर रूम, it was a complete LED screen which was massive, and that pointer was completely high tech. And I'm glad, because I went there in the morning, the event was somewhere in the evening. And I was so glad because I went there and I saw, and I was asking कि आपके पास projector है, and I saw that massive LED screen and I was completely floored. I said, I don't know how to use this. This I'm going to be using for the first time. Is where you start getting used to the fact कि stage confidence के लिए हर एक तरह की planning is what is going to really help us out on this. And I still remember that made a lot of difference because I was prepared. I exactly knew room कैसा दिखता है, stage कैसा है, pointer कैसे use करना है, and how it's really going to play around. So I think that's really a big, factor that you also mentioned about Kamani Auditorium.
Absolutely, absolutely. और दोस्तों ये जरूरी है, आप कभी मत सोचिएगा कि the next time when you see a speaker on stage and you're awe of the way he's speaking, the way he's delivering the speech, ये मत सोचिएगा he's a born speaker. ये तो पैदाइशी स्पीकर है. गोपिका, ऐसा कुछ होता है क्या?
I feel that this is a learned skill set. I haven't really been able to see it. आपका अपना exposure, अपनी opportunities, क्या आप create करते हैं और आप उनसे क्या बनाते हैं, that makes you the person that you become. You're not born on stage, right? None of us is. But the kind of opportunities, हो सकता है बहुत लोग स्कूल में लेना शुरू कर देते हैं, but many of us don't realize, but we always want to do it, right? हमारे में हमेशा वो एक इच्छा रह जाती है कि स्टेज पे जाना है. अच्छा किसको नहीं लगता, स्पॉटलाइट किसको अच्छी नहीं लगती, and that's what we want, that each one of our viewers, you have so much of potential. आपका अपना एक रीजन है, अपना एक टॉपिक है, अपनी एक थीम है, which you need to go out there and share it with people. Let stage not be a syndrome which catches hold of you. Just go out there and make yourself proud.
Let not stage be that syndrome that holds you back, is the message by none other than Dr. Gopika Kumar. Or dosto, I want to tell this to all of you, you get that edge. And I want all of you as viewers, as participants of the Superpower Success Summit, to have that edge. Now, this edge that you get if you are comfortable on stage, it actually helps you. It doesn't matter who you are. स्टूडेंट हो, प्रोफेशनल हो, एंटरप्रेन्योर हो, ट्रेनर हो, स्पीकर हो, कोच हो, इससे फर्क नहीं पड़ता कि आप कौन है. When life gives you an opportunity, you should be prepared. Yes or no? It's good to be prepared and not have an opportunity than to have an opportunity and not being prepared. So here's my suggestion. Be prepared now. Dr. Gopika Kumar is here. In case you have any questions, friends, you can put it in the chat box. I do have few questions. Gopika, एक बात बताओ कि जैसे कई बार ऐसा होता है कि when you are on stage, let's say when there are speakers on stage sometimes and the audience is watching them, they forget. Okay, practical scenario, अच्छे से तैयारी की, सब कुछ किया, नए स्पीकर हैं, अभी excited hai, pumped up hai, preparation pe, they are banking on the preparation and they actually prepare well. Lekin I'm yet to meet a speaker who doesn't forget what he has to speak on the stage, right?
Yeah.
I forget all the time. So the point is, मान लो भूल गए क्या अगली लाइन थी, क्या पॉइंट था, क्या था, भूल गए और अब है ब्लैंक माइंड, कुछ नहीं पता. Or up then there is this pause worth zillions of hours and minutes. And then the audience is watching you, you are watching the audience. That's scary. How to get out of this situation, Gopika, when you forget what you have to speak on stage? Please share some thoughts on this.
Sure. So I think that question puts me, to my mind, two ways of looking at it, right? Pehla tarika, which I think most of us have already heard that here in the room today. The first way is that use an acronym. जिस तरह से आज मैंने use किया, अगर मुझे कुछ use करना है, जिस तरह से आप acronym को expand करेंगे, sequence नहीं भूलेंगे, and you're able to remember exactly the way that you want to speak. आज हमने स्टेज का एक एक्रोनिम यूज किया. मैं मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम्स अपने किसी भी स्पीचेस में जहां पे हम प्रेजेंटेशन यूज नहीं कर सकते, वहां मैं एक एक्रोनिम बना लेती हूँ, सो दैट आई एम एबल टू कॉन्शियसली बीइंग एबल टू डिवाइड माय टाइम ऑन इट. बट हैविंग सेड दैट, फिर भी ऐसा बहुत बार होता है कि हम आउट ऑफ माइंड हो जाते हैं, वी लूज ट्रैक ऑफ इट, राइट? ना इस पे मैं आपको एक बात बोलना चाहूंगी. हम एक वो मटेरियल भूल गए जो हमने शेयर करना था, जो हम बोलना चाहते थे वो हम भूल गए. क्या आप अपने लाइफ एक्सपीरियंसेस भूल गए? नहीं ना. लाइफ एक्सपीरियंसेस को बस उस टॉपिक में ले आइए इमीडिएटली, लाइक द वे टुडे. आज मैंने स्टेज कॉन्सेप्ट पे प्रेपरेशन करी थी, बट द मोमेंट आई वाज स्पीकिंग टू ऑल ऑफ यू, मेरे जितने भी पास्ट के लाइफ एक्सपीरियंसेस रहे हैं स्टेज के, राइट नाउ so many of them are bombarding me with several memories, and I wanted to speak about them. Whenever you're losing out of context, base it on your life experience. और उसी बात पे मैं एक बहुत ही इंटरेस्टिंग एक लाइफ एक्सपीरियंस शेयर करूंगी ऑन स्टेज कॉन्फिडेंस, यू if you allow me, which was स्टेज पर गलतियां हो सकती हैं और उसी चीज से हम सब लोग डरते हैं कि अगर गलती हो गई तो लोग क्या कहेंगे, now that is something that I'm completely scared of. Now how do I handle that nervousness, Nitin? Now for that nervousness, मेरे साथ भी ऐसा हुआ है. In fact, छोटे इवेंट में नहीं हुआ, बहुत बड़े इवेंट में हुआ है. This event was being telecasted on TV. This was being telecasted on CNBC, and it was a Bollywood award ceremony. Yes. But I want to share this with you. Somebody came as a co-host with me at that point in time when I was making mistakes. And only I knew it, by the way. Nobody else knew it. That co-host was supposed to be with me for 20 minutes. Professional comparer. And I was there on for 4 hours. When she came up on stage, she whispered into my ear and she said, Gopika, I'm feeling very scared, okay? I hope you can just handle the stage here. And that time, I was nervous, I was jittery, I was making mistakes, I knew that I'm forgetting and I'm missing out on a few important names, is when I realized, you know what? Everybody is nervous on stage. It's absolutely fine as far as you have the ability to continue. And if you forget, use life experiences to your benefit, right? So to just answer that question to you.
Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. Dosto, what a session it was. And it still is, right? Jaldi se likh dijiye chat box mein. Super, amazing, awesome, incredible, mind-blowing is the word. Let me know in the chat box. If you are excited, inspired, you took notes and you're thanking yourself for being a part of this session with one and only Dr. Gopika Kumar. Gopika, एक और बात मैं जरूर पूछना चाहता हूं. While people express their love and shower it on us, I want to ask this question. कई बार ऐसा देखा है कि humor plays a very important role for any speaker. Or and I am telling you from my own experience, it's not easy. It's not easy to make an audience. If it's tough to make them applaud for you, it's even tougher to make them laugh. तो मैं ये जानना चाहता हूँ आपसे, over a period of time, it is something that yes comes with experience, that you become comfortable with your speaking, with your content, with your gestures, with some on the spot things that you do. But other than that, any thoughts, any suggestion that you want to give for speakers to add that bit of humor in their speech that brings a smile on the audience's face, and they feel better, they feel good to be a part of the session. Any suggestions for that, Gopika?
Yeah, sure. So you know what I have realized? I mean, out of my complete experience, I'm also not like a pro, I would say, because every speaker, हर एक का अपना एक unique style
जी,
होता है,
जी,
and which
जी,
is totally fine with it.
जी,
But there's something which I call is the contagious part of it. So
जी.
whatever actions you want your listeners to portray is what I do. So if I want them to nod along with me, I always do that. So I will start nodding so that they can start nodding with me. And it happens
True,
all the time, okay?
true,
Until
true,
they start nodding, all right?
true,
Now, if
true.
I want them to smile, I will just start, posting up a smile out there. Maybe not really a realistic, humorous joke, but being
Yeah.
able to pass on a smile by looking at them, individually is when you're also able to get it back, right? So you're
Hmm.
passing on, it becomes contagious, and one does it, and then more people are able to do it. What is important is the comfort that you create in the room between yourself and the listeners. जितना
True.
आप उनको देख के उनके इमोशंस को समझ पाएंगे, you can actually get them to nod, you can get them to laugh, you can get them to smile, you can actually get them to speak to you, you can get them to do what you want.
Absolutely, absolutely, indeed. That's the suggestion by the number one expert that I know when you talk about stage confidence. Dostom, I can see your comments, and I'm super excited. Gopika, thank you so much. I mean, it's always a pleasure hearing you and learning from you, and today was no different. Gopika, you are a master. You are born to inspire people, and
Thank
thank
you.
you so very much for coming here today, sharing your ideas, and making this session a super power session. And I'm pretty sure that everybody will remember this session for a long, long time. And the next time when they go on stage, वो कहेंगे Gopika, save me.
Thank you so much. So, powered by Adyun Books, wishing you a lot of good luck as you move ahead on this journey together, Nitin. I think it's absolutely a great cause that you're creating. So, my dear viewers, okay, a note from my side. Nitin Soni is going to be bringing in some of the best of the speakers that I myself have interacted. And it's going to be completely a pleasure. I'm myself going to be looking at each one of those sessions. Make sure you can block yourself for 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. as well, right? So thanking you so much. Love to all the viewers here. And thanking you so much for having me on board here.
Thank you, Gopika. Thank you so very much. I'm going to see you again soon. And that was Dr. Gopika Kumar. Well, and what a session it was. Yes or no? I mean, if you talk about stage confidence, it's Gopika. If you got to learn it from someone, it's Gopika. She gave all of you an opportunity to learn more from her. Grab this opportunity. Grab it. Because if I know one person who can help you with your stage confidence, that's Gopika Kumar. दोस्तों, ये जो बातें उन्होंने आज शेयर की, STAGE. When you talk about S, your simple opening. Simple opening, क्योंकि मैं आपको बताता हूं कि शुरुआत के कुछ सेकंड स्टेज पर, if you settle down and if you don't forget, trust me, you're going to do well for the rest of your duration on stage, guaranteed. Challenge कहां है? स्टेज पर जाने से पहले और स्टेज पर आने के कुछ सेकंड्स, कुछ मिनट बाद तक. That's all. इसके अलावा कोई बड़ा चैलेंज नहीं है. तो वो आपको विन करना है, वो आपको ओवरकम करना है. तो इसके लिए क्या करना है? सिंपल ओपनिंग रखनी है, ओपनिंग नहीं भूलनी है. और ऐसा कहते हैं ना कि ओपनिंग और क्लोजिंग, ये दो चीजें अगर अच्छी है तो your audience is gonna love you. So remember that. I pretty liked it. And then she talked about the technical setup, mic and stage and all of that. You should be comfortable with it. आपको पता होना चाहिए कि कॉलर माइक होगा, कि हैंड हेल्ड माइक होगा, कि कैसा माइक होगा. आपको कोई you should all be prepared, and please ask questions to the organizers. And if there are people managing this for you, you should feel free to ask them कि भाई ये मेरे को माइक चाहिए, ऐसा चाहिए, वैसा चाहिए, इससे करूंगा. I see, I know a lot of people, what they do is, let's say for example, they have this handheld mic, right? And then the problem is कि वो इससे बोल तो रहे हैं, लेकिन जैसे जैसे subconscious moments वो करते हैं, and the mic goes away from where it should be. Now all of this we have to take care of. और ये तभी possible है जब आप advance में थोड़ा सा तैयारी करें इस चीज की. You talk about A in stage, and then she said active engagement, interaction. Yeah. So if you are loving it, type in loving it in the chat box. Let me see that right away in the chat box. This is what interaction is, right? So you interact with your audience if you're on stage is pretty important. And then she said G stands for gestures and body language. Have you ever seen me speaking with my hands in my pocket? I can't do that. A lot of people say, Nitin, आप ऐसे नहीं बोलते हो, जबान से नहीं, आपकी आंखें, आपका चेहरा, आपके एक्सप्रेशंस बोलते हैं. क्या है ये? That's what you need to learn, and I've learned it over a period of time. And she pretty rightly said, remember your own story. And you don't even have to remember it, because when you speak genuinely, your own story, your own life experiences, it comes naturally to you. ना याद करने की टेंशन है, ना कोई gestures की टेंशन है. You're going to be in a flow state, and I guarantee your audience will love it. And then it says eye contact. हाँ जी, बताइए, eye contact अब हो रहा है आपके साथ या अब हो रहा है आपके साथ when I'm looking on the screen? जल्दी से बताइए. So you got to look, if you are in front of the audience, you got to look at them, right? So you shouldn't look up in the sky or on the stage. No, it's important that you make eye contact. और क्या जबरदस्त उन्होंने secret दिया है आपको कि थोड़ा सा just look on their head. The people sitting around the person will also be able to see that you're looking at all of them, which is you're going to cover 5 people. That was pretty awesome. दोस्तों, ये था stage confidence. इन बातों को याद रखिए, और I'm reiterating on this. Every single speaker, every single session, if we are doing something, we are doing it with a lot of everything is going behind it. So all of these speakers who are coming in, I'm telling you, they have this power to change your life, all areas of your life, right? You can go back and check the last 7 days, and this was no exception. It was day 8, and now the stage is set. The stage is set for yet another super power session, which is tomorrow when we talk about day 9. दोस्तों, कल एक और मजेदार, एक और धमाकेदार सेशन होगा. Well, this session is going to be on morning routine. हाँ जी, जरूर सुना होगा आपने ब्रह्म मुहूर्त के बारे में. क्या है ब्रह्म मुहूर्त और क्या इसमें उठना जरूरी है? Now a lot of people are looking at me when I'm saying it, because you got to wake up early in the morning. Yes or no, right? You got to wake up early in the morning. And why? And how? What are the benefits? How do I wake up? My alarm rings, but I don't know when it rings and when it stops, and who stops it. I don't know. The question is whether you should wake up early. If yes, how and why? What is Brahma Muhurat? What should be your morning routine? When do you call your morning routine as a power morning routine? If I know one person who can speak on morning routine, that's one and only Mr. Arun Singh. Well, I am inviting Mr. Arun Singh tomorrow to share his ideas on morning routine with all of you. Tomorrow, 7 p.m. This session is going to be amazing. This session is going to be special. दोस्तों, अगर आपको अपने दिन को ओन करना है, अपने वीक्स को ओन करना है, अपने मंथ्स को, अपने ईयर्स को, अपनी लाइफ को ओन करना है, then you got to own your mornings. And if you want to own your mornings, then I want to invite you to be a part of tomorrow's 7 p.m. session, which is going to be on morning routine by one and only Mr. Arun Singh. He's an incredible speaker. He's going to blow your mind with his ideas. Well, thank you so very much then for joining us today on day 8 of the Superpower Success Summit. This is Nitin Soni saying thank you very much. Your comments, your participation, your love, your support is infectious. It's amazing. It's incredible. We feel blessed that we are able to serve you through this Superpower Success Summit. दोस्तों, कल फिर मिलता हूं आपसे शाम 7 बजे in yet another Superpower session in the Superpower Success Summit. Till then, take care and keep implementing these ideas. Keep reminding yourself about these ideas. Keep sharing these ideas with people. And don't forget to subscribe the Superpower Author channel, because the entire action, all of this is happening right here, right now. See you tomorrow, 7 p.m.
Let me call upon stage Nitin Soni.
Louder, louder, louder. Come on, louder.
दोस्तों, success in any field is 70% psychology and 30% mechanics. किसी भी फील्ड में, in whatever field you choose, success is all about 70% psychology and 30% mechanics.
मैं आपसे पूछना चाहता हूं, विराट कोहली ने सेंचुरी मारी थी क्या डेब्यू में? अच्छा, सचिन तेंदुलकर ने मारी, अच्छा, धोनी ने मारी. But all of these three individuals are legends, in spite of the fact that they did not score century on debut. Even if you are not able to score century on debut, you can still become a legend if you take few things right. Understand this.
Why do you want to become what you want to become? Why do you want to get that success? Why do you want to get that degree? Why do you want to become a rank holder? Why do you want it? Answer your why.
They are compromising on their potential. You have amazing potential in you. Why do you want to restrict it? You're not supposed to restrict your potential. Warren Buffett has 97 different streams of income. 97. And the day I realized, the day I noticed it, I said, 97? What the hell?
What is the difference? The difference is in their psychology. That's where the entire difference lies. That's the main thing. You need to understand your psychology, your mindset. Usme kya chal raha hai? That's what you need to focus.
Excellent. And I knew I would be the top scorer in the institute. And that's exactly what I did. Each and every paper that I gave, when I came back home, I said, I'm ready for the next one. And I did that. Ready for the next one. Did that. Then I waited for my results. And on the results day, what did happen? I failed. What is it that I can do now? At the best I can study. At the best I can put in the hard work. At the best I can do whatever is possible for me to do. What else can I do?
He actually looked at the big portrait of Mount Everest and he said, Mount Everest, I know you are failing me. But the more and more you fail me, the more and more I'm getting determined that one day I'm going to stand on top of you. Do you know why, Sir Edmund Hillary said? He said, do you know why? Because you, even as Mount Everest, cannot grow any further. But I, as a human being, will keep growing. That's my message to you. Keep growing. No matter what Mount Everest you want to climb in your life, you can. If you have the right mindset and if you do not let your failures enter your mind, why? Because it's your responsibility, friends. It's your responsibility. Nobody else is going to work hard for you. Nobody else is going to bring your dream in a silver plate and say, hey, here is your dream, enjoy. No, that's never going to happen. You will have to work hard. You will have to put in the hard work. You will have to burn the midnight oil. You will have to make your dream come true. The responsibility is yours. I cannot do your push-ups for you, can I? Can I? Of course not. You will have to do your push-ups.
What do? You notice that you are not the only one who is watching that dream. You are not the only one having that dream inside you. When there are 1,000 other mothers who are having the same dream for their sons, what do you do to make the dream of your mother come true? You outwork your competition. You outwork your competition. You get up early. You work harder. You stay longer. You do whatever it takes. You got to overwork. You got to outwork. You got to outsmart everybody else. Because if you don't do it, someone else is going to do it. If you don't do it, someone else is going to do it. If you are not getting up early, someone else is getting up early. And he is going to grab your position. He's going to grab your position. Understand this. You got to outwork your competition. If it means doing anything that you have not done till date, you should be interested in doing it. Learning techniques, learning facts, programming your subconscious, whatever it may be. Be ready to outwork your competition.
My intensity multiplied. My hunger multiplied. My seriousness multiplied. I prepared like hell. I was actually doing things that nobody around me was doing. I was studying for 12 hours a day and I said, no matter what happens on the results day, I'm going to give my best shot in this again. I studied like anything. And I did all those test papers, working studies over and over and over again. I revised over and over and over again. And I gave my exams to the best of my ability. On all the results, the screen said, pass.
Unless and until you answer your whys, you will not be able to remain motivated. You need motivation? Answer your whys. Answer your whys. Why do you want to do what you want to do? Is it because of your father? You want to make your father's dream come true? Is it because of your mother? Your mother is looking a dream for you and you want to make her dream come true? Is it because of your siblings, your brother, your sister, your other family members? Or is it probably because yourself? You say, I want to become rich because I want to prove to the world that I am a rich person and I am not a poor person. You got to answer your whys. Why do you want to become what you want to become? Answer your whys. Because this is exactly where motivation lies. What are you waiting for? Whatever it takes. Even if it takes for you to learn something, learn it. If it takes for you to work hard, work hard. If it takes for you to get up early in the morning, get up early in the morning. If it takes for you to work in day in and day out, do it. He was a world heavyweight champion in boxing, Mike Tyson. डरते थे लोग उसके नाम से. और Mike Tyson won 37 fights back to back. अपनी लाइफ की पहली फाइट से लेकर 37 फाइट्स तक माइक टाइसन हर एक फाइट जीतता गया. एक भी फाइट वो नहीं हारा. और पीपल यूज्ड टू स्वेट बाय हिज नेम. करते थे लोग उसके नाम से. 37 फाइट लगातार जीतना इज नो गेम. एंड ही वाज द वर्ल्ड हेवीवेट चैंपियन. 37 फाइट लगातार जीतने के बाद जो 38वीं फाइट उसकी थी वो थी अगेंस्ट जेम्स बस्टिन डगलस. और ये जेम्स बस्टिन डगलस कौन था? कुछ भी नहीं. अ नॉर्मल बॉक्सर, वेरी नॉर्मल बॉक्सर. कभी भी अपनी लाइफ के अंदर हेवीवेट चैंपियन नहीं बना. कभी भी उसने कोई बहुत बड़ी चैंपियनशिप नहीं जीती. वेरी नॉर्मल बॉक्सर. 38th मैच माइक टाइसन का अगेंस्ट जेम्स बस्टिन डगलस. इट वाज अ वन साइडेड मैच. दे सेड माइक टाइसन इज गोइंग टू विन एनीवेज. सारा मीडिया हैरान, सारी दुनिया हैरान. माइक टाइसन लॉस्ट द मैच. 38th फाइट माइक टाइसन लॉस्ट इट. हाउ कम? ये कैसे हो सकता है? सारा का सारा मीडिया पागलों की तरह जेम्स बस्टिन डगलस के पीछे. बस्टिन डगलस, ये तुमने किया कैसे? हाउ डिड इट? You just won against Mike Tyson. Impossible. How could you do the impossible? ये किया कैसे तुमने? He said, before this match, my mother declared to the world that her son is going to beat Mike Tyson. She declared it to the world, to the relatives, to the friends, everybody, and she was extremely happy. और जेम्स बस्टिन डगलस ने कहा, माँ क्या कर रहे हो? Why are you doing that? I'm not too sure. She said, you are not sure. I am sure because I believe in my son. My son is going to beat the hell out of Mike Tyson, and my son is going to win. He said, it was my mother's dream that I beat Mike Tyson. It was my mother's dream that I become the world champion. It was my mother's dream that I become a true champion in my life by beating Mike Tyson, and not just Mike Tyson, whoever it may be. And my mother died 2 weeks before this match. He said, my mother died 2 weeks before this match. And I wanted to make her dream come true. He said, I wanted to make her dream come true. Mike Tyson के अलावा अगर वहां पर 100 Mike Tyson भी होते, उसके बावजूद मैं ये मैच जीतता. Because it was my mother's dream and I wanted to fulfill my mother's dream.
ये सोचता है कि मैं स्पेशल नहीं हूं. अगर यहाँ एक भी सोचता है कि मैं वर्दी नहीं हूं, मेरी रिक्वेस्ट है उससे कि आज की शाम अपने पेरेंट्स के साथ बिता लेना. आज की शाम तन्हाई में अपने पेरेंट्स के साथ बिता लेना और आपकी माँ, आपके पिताजी आपको बताएंगे कि आप कितने स्पेशल हो. There is nobody in the entire world who has a fingerprint like you.
Luck, नसीब. कई मैं से देखता हूं जो अपने नसीब को पकड़ के बैठते हैं, जो ये कहते हैं कि it's only and only because of my luck. If I'm failing, it's only because of my luck. नसीब की वजह से आपकी जिंदगी में कुछ नहीं होता. मगर दो तरह के लोग हैं, बिलीव करते हैं नसीब, कुछ बिलीव नहीं करते नसीब के ऊपर. आप मुझे एक बात बताओ, अगर आपके नसीब की वजह से ही सब कुछ होता है, अगर आपके लक की वजह से ही सब कुछ ये हो रहा है, तो मेहनत क्यों कर रहे हो? मेहनत करने की क्या जरूरत है? और अगर नसीब में नहीं लिखा तो मेहनत करके क्या उखाड़ लोगे? क्या उखाड़ लोगे? नसीब को लेकर के मत बैठो. जब आप अपने नसीब को देख करके कहते हो कि भाई कभी ना कभी तो चमकेगा, आपका नसीब आपको देख करके कहता है कभी तो समझेगा. आप नहीं समझते.
You command respect, power, recognition, social status, everything. It has amazing power. I am the king of the jungle now. If you do what is easy, your life will be hard. But if you do what is hard, your life will be easy.